The cat is out of the bag, and this is all coming out because of Lou Elizondo, who of course released his book Imminent over the last kind of week. It's become a #1 bestseller, it's doing particularly well, the UFO community is buzzing for it, and News Nation of course have got their hands on a gold mine, as they have got their special correspondent Ross Coulthart to speak to Lou in particular about basically what he knows. And he is spilling the tea. Now, we've only had snippets thus far. At the time of recording, the full episode has not dropped, but don't worry, I will be checking that out. But we're going to be taking a look at these little snippets, and we're going to be taking a look at just what we know so far, because it's getting real.
Nation exclusive. Former Pentagon official Lou Elizondo sitting down one-on-one with News Nation special correspondent Ross Coulthart in a primetime exclusive interview. As part of Friday night's bombshell special report, Elizondo, who says he ran a secretive Pentagon program, shares what he claims the government really knows about UFOs.
Man, this is gonna upset a lot of people.
What did you see?
I saw a technical device that had been removed, excised by the Department of Veterans Affairs by a surgeon, a trained physician from a U.S. military service member who claimed to have a UAP encounter. The physician claimed that the object tried to run on him or evade being excised.
So let me get this right. This object, whatever it is, it's a constructed object. It's a technological object.
It's a technological object enveloped in some sort of biological capsule. The current theory is that that capsule is there to fool the body.
And joining me this morning is News Nation special correspondent Ross Coulthart. Ross, great to see you again. I've been excited about this interview because it's a question the human race has pondered since the dawn of time. Are we alone? What did Lou tell you? And if we are not alone, according to him, why isn't the American government sharing that with us?
Well,
Fantastic
firstly,
question.
good morning. And can I say, Lou says definitively we are not alone. In quite an extraordinary interview, the former head of the Pentagon's UFO investigation program, he goes out the gate and charges, and he's basically saying Roswell was real. And then you've got that wonderful science fiction sounding admission that he makes that they actually pulled some kind of non-human implant out of a human being, a veteran, who...
An implant. They pulled an implant out of a veteran. What?
Was in a UAP encounter, and that this implant in some way, Hannah, tried to evade being caught by the surgeon that was trying to remove it.
I'm sorry, what? What? Imagine being a veteran, you've got an implant in you. The surgeon's like, oh, let me whip that out for you. And then it's just like, see you later. Woo. It just goes off. No, fuck that.
So is there a bigger question now about finding out how these aliens feel about us on our planet and the human race?
Well, you and I think, are probably taking it more for granted than a lot of members of the American public. I mean, I take it as a given now because of the number of people that I've spoken to in the Defense Department and the intelligence community who candidly admit that a non-human intelligence is engaging with the people of this planet. But I think most people still want firm, solid proof, and they'd like to hear it from the president standing at a lectern in the White House basically saying we are not alone.
Yeah, that's never going to happen though, is it? It will never happen.
I don't think we're ever going to get that. And I think ultimately what's going to come is a gradual disclosure because of people like Mr. Elizondo coming forward from within the black world and revealing what they know.
This is the thing though, right? Like, yeah, it's all well and good talking about like gradual disclosure and all the rest of it. That's fantastic. But who does that come from? Because thus far, we've not had any disclosure, whether it be hard or soft, you know, from any government officials. It's been ex-government officials who have worked on these things. So the government literally don't care about giving any form of disclosure. It's just people coming forward and being like, yeah, this is the case. Look at David Grush, Lou Elizondo, you know, many others. Who's the other guy? Bob Lazar, you know, all of these people.
And I know some of these people. I know people who work on what they purport to be a crash retrieval program of non-human technology. And they say that they're also involved not only in those retrievals, but in the reverse engineering of those craft. And I think that's the reason for the secret. I think what's happening is the United States can see it can derive an enormous military advantage, strategic advantage, from hopefully being able to develop that technology. And who can blame them? But at the same time, there's a lie being promoted. The public are being told that the US government, the Defense Department, knows nothing about any kind of non-human intelligence. And that's just not true, I believe.
Ross, for all those skeptics out there, can you give us some background on the credentials for Mr. Elizondo? What makes his experience and his claims authentic?
Fair question.
Mr. Elizondo was working at an extremely high level in the Pentagon with the Office of the Undersecretary for Defense Intelligence in the Defense Department when he was assigned to run the Pentagon's UFO investigation program along with other colleagues. And in the course of that investigation, it's quite clear he was briefed about things that I think the public aren't allowed to know. He's only been allowed to speak to us within a very narrowly confined publication security review that's been approved by the Defense Department, and he's been stopped from revealing quite a number of things. His new book, Imminent, actually has redactions in it, Hannah, where it's basically not allowed to disclose things that he wanted to tell the public.
See, even now, like, this is all well and good, right? That Lou's come forward, and I think it's a fantastic first step, and, you know, he's got a book out, all the rest of it, you know, he's going to make bank off of it for sure. But what good is it when the government is just going to turn around and be like, yeah, but you still can't talk about this, you still can't talk about that, I don't like that part, no, that part can't be included. Oh, no, you can't talk about that, no, that's got to go, that's got to go. That, you can keep that in, but we'll let you know, nah, actually, we're going to get rid of that. Like, what's the point? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know, it feels a bit like the Pentagon and the Department of Defense are still puppeteering people like Lou Elizondo and being like, yeah, you could talk about this, that, and the other, but don't talk about this, and this, because, you know, and that's all the juicy stuff. That's all the stuff that we don't already know about, and that's just where I'm a bit like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's a bit, it's fantastic, don't get me wrong, but I'm just a bit like, a bit disappointed.
And so I think one of the problems that he faces, and a lot of these officials face, is that they're constrained by their security oath. They're patriots. They're not going to do anything to block the protection of US national security.
So there's the first little clip there. They're obviously, they're not going into too much depth about the whole situation. Because obviously they want to save it for the mass interview. But there are other little bits and little snippets that we can take a look at to get ourselves a little bit hyped for it, just like this one here.
You've actually seen what you believe may well be alien technology, an implant.
I have.
What did you see?
I saw a technical device that had been removed, excised by the Department of Veterans Affairs by a surgeon, a trained physician from a U.S. military service member who claimed to have a UAP encounter. The physician claimed that the object tried to run on him or evade being excised.
So let me get this right.
Unreal.
This object, whatever it is, it's a constructed object. It's a technological object.
It's a technological object enveloped in some sort of biological capsule. The current theory is that that capsule is there to fool the body as not to create some sort of immune response to a foreign object.
But
Wow.
the physician you spoke
Wow.
to described that object apparently trying to intelligently avoid being captured by the human doctor.
Correct. That is what the doctor reported.
What? This is crazy. But it doesn't stop there. We've got more little snippets about all of this as well, so we're going to take a look at those as well. Man, this is madness.
1947. What happened?
Roswell, 1947, there was a UAP that crashed. In fact, there were two UAP that crashed. And
now that's new information, because obviously we knew about one particular crash, but we didn't know about the second. We didn't know that there were two craft that crashed.
One flew away while the other one did not, and it was recovered by the U.S. government.
Allegations of a legacy UAP retrieval and reverse engineering program.
The U.S. government has had in the past and continues to have a very deep interest in UAP, to include the potential and possibilities of recovering crashed UAP and reverse engineering them.
We've been recovering spacecraft, alien spacecraft.
The United States has been involved in the recovery of objects, vehicles of unknown origin that are neither from our country or any other foreign country that we're aware of.
Alien bodies, biologics.
We as a nation have been interested in not only the vehicles themselves, but the occupants of these vehicles, to include biological specimens.
That literally marries up with David Grush's sentiments that he made last year at the time of recording this. You know, he said the exact same thing. And, you know, he said about crashed UFO craft, but also the non-human intelligent pilots.
Aliens, non-human intelligences, are real, and they have been engaging with humanity.
Ross, we're not alone. We are not alone in this universe, and it is a simple fact. And the U.S. government has been aware of that fact now for decades.
Holy mother trucking shit, man. Like, this is gonna be one hell of an interview. This is gonna be bigger than David Grush. This is gonna be bigger than everything. But it doesn't stop there, does it? No, it doesn't. Because we've got one more little snippet to go through. Let's take a little look at this one.
Now to a preview of our special report, Confessions of a UFO Hunter. Take a look.
There are many commentators who say that the non-human beings, the aliens, call them what you like, they're friendly, they're benevolent, that if they're real, they're no threat at all to humanity. Can we assume that?
Well, I think in order to understand if something is a threat, from a national security perspective, it's a very simple calculus. It's capabilities versus intent. We have examples where these things have disabled our nuclear capabilities, right? Like we see with Maelstrom Air Force Base and whatnot, where entire flights of our nuclear, part of our nuclear triad, has been taken offline, right? Nowhere did they stop our advancement from atomic technology development to nuclear technology. They didn't stop us testing weapons out in Nevada, and they didn't stop the proliferation of nuclear weapons from getting into the hands of other countries that are unfriendly, of countries like North Korea, and now India has them. And so I ask you, if these things are benevolent, why haven't they stopped that? There's zero information to suggest that what they are doing is for benevolent reasons.
All right, Confessions.
Wow. He asked some good points, you know, like, but the thing is I don't know. I don't know what the thing is. I couldn't even possibly begin to speculate. What do you guys think? Are you going to be watching the Ross Coulthart documentary? Let me know down in the comments below. This has literally boggled my tiny brain. Yeah, if you've gone on to enjoy today's video, be sure to jump scare the hell out of that like button. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you in a bit. Peace.